Well, well. Thank you, Linkin Park team, for including me in the trailer for Unshatter. I want to see it even more now. Given the fascination that I and many of you had with my last Live in Texas comparison to something Emily had done, I thought we have got to do it with this one. Somewhere I Belong is a deceptively difficult song to sing. This one was on Chester's list for one of the most difficult songs to sing live. And I can see why. There's no massive scream sections. There's not a lot of dynamics compared to some of the other songs like Given Up or From the Inside. But there is this constancy, this melody that has this energy that just keeps going and going and drilling you in the face. And that's the charm of the song.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We have to go back and listen to him count. Listen to what happens with his voice, how it cracks just a little bit. It gives you a gateway into the quality and the approach for his scream, at least there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's pitch to that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. He goes up. He's using a certain kind of approach on the 1, 2, 3, 4, which is very much how he sings this melody. But then when he goes up there and yells or screams and his voice cracks a little bit, that's a slightly different approach, different set of balances for that scream. That's the Given Up approach. Chester really has that low breath pressure, singing like an angel. Yeah. There's not a lot of weight to it. It's right here. Where he could be going into head voice on that note at any moment because his medium, his breath pressure balances. Confused. I love this about Chester's calm state, his clean state. Okay, so he did the count. That's kind of cool. We're in a different key. Those chord voicings, man, they're deep. Raunchy on this one.
When this began, I had nothing to say, and I get lost in the nothingness inside of me.
I was confused,
and I let it all out to find, and I'm not the only person with these things in mind.
suddenly,
But all the vacancy, the words
I like how Mike's pulling the rhythm on this one a little bit.
revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to feel.
nothing to lose.
Just stuck, hollow and
Lose. So she's adding a lot more to her baseline energy here. You hear that in that sigh. She brings in that compression and she comes out of it. More initial energy, less sort of sedation, which is really how I feel like Chester approaches lots of stuff, right? He's in this sort of, like this, and then, just rips your face off. She's a bit more balanced and nuanced in momentary energy bursts.
it's my own, and the fault is my own.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's gone.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I've wanted all along, somewhere I belong.
I've got nothing.
He descends into that clean at the end. This is actually kind of low for the amount of intensity that Chester's using in his voice. For Chester. He's placing this right here, right? This, I wanna heal. It starts with that ping, heal. And then he's adding compression. Heal. I wanna heal. But there's this upper constriction that he's so good at. Listen to what happens as I bring the sensation of compression upward. Low constriction, compression, heal, heal, heal. And then heal. Exaggerated on both ends. I wanna heal. You hear there's this like that's happening there at the top. By the way, at the very end of the video, I show you me singing this song in this key. I do my best. It'll be fun for you to see that in light of my analysis of Chester here.
I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long. Erase all the pain till
And the distortion is so consistent, right? He's not turning the distortion on or off. He's in this posture for the whole chorus. That can be tiring, not because it's bad technique, but because it's just so constant.
And the fault is my own.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's
I
gone.
wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I've wanted all along. Somewhere I belong.
And I've got nothing
Man, they both have such beautiful voices in such different ways.
alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel.
She's a lot cleaner in general, and then there are these moments where she turns on that distortion. This is easier on your voice. This song is also keyed for her voice so that she can be more abandony. It's like higher for her voice in this key than it is for Chester's voice in the original key.
What I thought was never real.
All clean there.
I wanna let go
But then she has those entrances. I wanna, right?
of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till
And then, felt so long! Really good, clean, belted sound that she uses. Her technique in her screaming is way more similar to what we heard Chester doing in The Count, or that hint of given up scream. She uses that in her sing screaming, that technique where she lets it falter. There's this element of crack, of vulnerability, built off the belt. Felt so long! Yeah! Now we're gonna go, felt so long, felt so long, felt so long. This is what she's doing. Hey, and how she's able to turn it on because she goes from clean, powerful belt to letting it fall apart gradually, finding your fry, finding your vocal break. Chester's not always that way. In this song, though, there's no fry. That's compression-based distortion based on where he is in his range.
it's gone.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I've wanted all along. Somewhere I belong.
And I've got
By the way, if you'd like to work on putting these kinds of coordinations in your own voice, style of Emily or the style of Chester, I can help you. Click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. I'll help you work on these balances with compression, airflow, placement, support, and help you find things in your voice you never thought you could do. But yeah, far, far less distortion, right? She's primarily clean, brings it in here and there.
And I've got nothing to say. I can't believe I didn't fall right down on my face. I was confused. Looking everywhere,
A break for the screaming, for the sing screaming.
only to find it. It's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind. So what am I? What do I have in negative?
I like that. A little bit more breath pressure there. Confuse my.
It's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind. So what am I? What do I have in negative?
Very pingy. So what am I?
Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me. Nothing to gain, nothing to gain. Hollow and alone.
And he goes back to that medium breath pressure. It's definitely higher intensity than the first.
Somewhere I belong.
And I've got nothing to say. I can't believe I didn't fall right down on my face.
I was confused.
Looking everywhere, only you find it? It's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind.
So what am I?
What do I have in negativity?
Well, the venues certainly haven't shrunk.
Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to gain, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own.
So she actually didn't vary her dynamics as much between verses as Chester did. She was already higher and already doing this sort of thing, again, more momentary variants on the first verse, and she really brought that in here. She did feel more like almost motherly on this verse, whereas Chester turned up the desperation factor on the second verse.
When alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain to
Felt so long, yeah. There's also this rattle that's a little bit lower that's happening here that you don't hear so much on the studio recordings, partially because of the layering. But we've got a little bit of an epiglottal rattle going on here. Long. I mean, that's almost purely epiglottis. Cookie. He's got that going in conjunction with this higher compression. Long, like that. I have trouble blending it like he does. Long, somewhere I belong. Yeah. Oh. That feels great. If it doesn't feel great, you're not balancing your support, your airflow, and your placement correctly. Again, free course.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I've wanted all along.
I can't stress enough, too, how he creates this upward, lighter placement, even in something that could be heavy, by pivoting off those vowels or by capitalizing on the heel, yeah. It's based off of this sound, which is highly nasal, and it's cried just a little bit. I wanna heal, yeah. He capitalizes on that because this is actually harder. I wanna heal. That's harder on your voice because of the way the shape allows more air to sort of bludgeon your primary chords. When you create a smaller sound, heal, I wanna heal, even though it doesn't sound great as I'm imitating it and, trying to get the placement, we're creating a smaller sound that is lower budget, less taxing on the voice. And he's found that, which is why he can keep going for a whole chorus without it burning out his voice or making him cough or whatever. He's placed it correctly.
Somewhere I belong, but I will never know myself until I do this on my own.
Notice he has backed off the grit a little bit here.
Never know myself until I do this on my own.
Almost completely clean there.
I will never feel anything else until my wounds are healed. And I will never burn anything till I break away from me.
Look at his mouth shape there.
Anything else until my wounds are healed. And I will never burn anything till I break away from me.
I will never be. Okay? He spent so much time in the feel, be, e, but he creates this moment by slanting that vowel. I mean, the word is be, but it's not. It's burr. He's placed it so differently, and it's created a completely different type of vulnerability in his voice by the way he starts by shaping the vowel and then using mouth shape to filter the sound in a way that he wants it to sound. The vowel is the starting point, but it's not the whole story. I will never be. No. Be. No. Be. But then he does something else. There's almost this sense that he's doing this as he's lengthening. I will never be. Yeah. It's resonant. Slant vowel resonance. The genius of Chester Bennington here. Again there. Today. No. Today. And then add the compression. Today. When you combine that with this, I wanna heal today. Yeah. Do you hear what's happening with the different sorts of shapes? It's not only the mouth shape, it's where he's placing this compression, it's how much breath pressure he's using, all these balances. They create this nuanced experience of something that could be very, very static on a melody that could be extremely boring. It's not, because of the way he shapes, the way he emotes, and the way his nuanced attentiveness creates all these different sounds.
Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to gain, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the
I wanna live! I loved that.
what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain.
So there's this sense, I wanna, she's almost quacking it, I wanna, and then she opens it back up into that belt, but then she keeps that distorted placement the same.
What I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain.
It's not let, but she started there.
I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's gone.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel.
Those clean notes where she's just, busting it right in the forehead, those mean something. They mean a lot in the context of the distortion.
Like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along. Somewhere I belong, and I will never know myself until I do this.
Listen to that crowd singing along, man.
And I will never know myself until I do this on my own. And I will never feel anything else.
Ugh. Don't you just get this sense of like Chester's out there singing somewhere too? I mean, I know that's silly. That's the spirit, that the reverence that I feel like Emily and the band pays, and you feel that with the crowd, right? He meant so much, and his presence was so potent that you can't get away from it. Even with the, it's so cool.
It's on my own, and I will never feel anything else until my wounds are healed. And I will never buy anything till I break away from me.
That was cool.
Anything else until my wounds are healed.
Belt it first, then let it fall apart. And I, and I, and I, and I, and I. It's a little high for me, but it's actually allowing my voice to fall apart in a more extreme way than hers. We hear her doing that.
Until my wounds are healed, and I will never buy anything till I break away from me.
She did a similar thing on that bay, B. It wasn't near as pronounced as what Chester did, but she's using that more like ping pong distortion effect anyway, and not capitalizing on the vowel contrast as much as Chester.
I will never buy anything till I break away from me. I will break away. I'll find myself today. And I wanna heal. I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's gone.
I wanna heal.
I like how he sang that a little bit.
The pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's gone.
And listen to that broken voice scream.
The pain I felt so long.
Erase all the
Totally clean until long.
I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
erase all the pain till it's gone.
So long. So long. I love that approach. I really, really do. You're roasting this note. You've got the pitch, and you bring that distortion in over the top. At the same time, you're letting your voice falter and be vulnerable. I love it.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I've wanted all along.
Find something I've wanted. Find something I've wanted. She's really good at moving that placement around. Neither one is necessarily more dynamic with their placement, but they're using things very, very differently. And most of it, I think, has to do with where this song lies in their ranges with the particular key.
Somewhere I belong. Somewhere I belong.
Again there. Somewhere I belong, right? We're dropping into this extreme breakup, and then we're cleaning it up.
Somewhere I belong. Somewhere I belong.
Thank you.
Let's bring it home with Chester, shall we?
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Release all the pain to the skull.
I wanna heal.
Even on long, do you notice how he kept it up here? He kept it sort of in the nose and that same grit. He didn't. You could very easily do more what he did earlier, right? On today, yeah, right? You could beef it up by lengthening the vocal tract. So long. I believe that's conscious. He's using moments to go into that longer vocal tract, lower placed compression. It's all very strategic. Even though his mouth is wide open, he's still placing it up here.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I've wanted all along. Somewhere I belong. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm somewhere I belong. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm somewhere I belong. Somewhere I belong.
I love all his incidentals, right? His counts, his like, yeah, slightly off mic. Thank you for joining me on this. This is so much fun. This is not a who's better. This is a fascination with each approach and why each works so well. Still. Again, if you'd like help unlocking these kinds of sounds and sensations in your own voice, click that link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. Here is me singing the end of Somewhere I Belong. Enjoy. Let me know what you think of it.
I want